Have you ever said yes when you really wanted to say no? Maybe you agreed to a favor you didn't have time for, or let someone cross their line because you didn't want to seem rude. And afterward, you felt frustrated, exhausted, and maybe even a little angry at yourself. What if setting boundaries is actually one of the healthiest things you can do for yourself and your relationships? Let's talk about where that guilty feeling actually comes from, because it doesn't come from nowhere. Most introverts grew up in environments where being agreeable meant being loved, where keeping the peace was more important than speaking your mind, where the kid who said, "I don't want to," was deemed selfish or rude. So your brain learned a very simple lesson early on. If you disappoint people, something bad happens. And now, even as an adult, even when the stakes are low, your body still reacts like saying no is dangerous. That's not weakness. That's just old wiring that hasn't been updated yet. Here's something I want you to really sit with. A boundary is not a rejection. A boundary is simply you saying, "This is where I end and where you begin." That's it. When you tell a friend that you can't talk tonight and you need to recharge, you are not abandoning them. You are being honest about your capacity. And honesty, even when it's uncomfortable, is one of the most respectful things you can offer another person. The people who make you feel guilty for having limits are not reacting to your cruelty. They're reacting to the inconvenience of your honesty, and that is their work to do, not yours. Now, I know what you're thinking. But what if they get upset? What if they think I don't care about them? And that fear is real. I'm not dismissing it. But think about this for a second. Every time you said yes when you meant no, how did that actually go? You showed up half present, exhausted, maybe a little bitter. You gave someone a version of you that was running on empty. That's not generosity. That's performance. And deep down, people can feel the difference between someone who genuinely wants to be there and someone who's just there because they couldn't figure out how to leave. Setting a boundary isn't giving someone less of you. It's protecting the version of you that actually has something real to give. Let's talk about how to actually do it, because knowing the theory is one thing, but saying the words out loud is another. The first thing to understand is that you don't owe anyone a long explanation. You are not on trial. You don't need to justify your energy levels or your schedule to anyone. A simple calm sentence is enough. Something like, "I won't be able to make it, but I hope you have a great time." Or, "That doesn't work for me, but thank you for thinking of me." Warm and final, no long essay attached. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they're new to boundaries is over-explaining, because they hope that if they explain enough, the other person won't be upset. But what that actually does is leave the door open for debate. The more you explain, the more material you give someone to argue with. Keep it simple and straightforward. The second thing is to stop treating every boundary like it has to be a big confrontation. Most boundaries don't require a big conversation. They just require a quiet decision that you follow through on. You don't have to announce to your whole family that you're changing. You just start responding differently. You leave the party when you said you would. You take your lunch break alone without apologizing for it. Boundaries aren't always declarations. Sometimes they're just quiet and consistent choices you make for yourself, over and over, until they become normal. And the third thing, this one is important, is that you have to be willing to feel uncomfortable for a moment. Because the first few times you hold a boundary, it will feel wrong. You'll want to take it back. You might even apologize out of habit. That discomfort is not a sign that you did something wrong. It's just the feeling of doing something new. Here's where I want to leave you. Setting boundaries doesn't make you rude, and it definitely doesn't make you a bad person. The truth is, every healthy relationship needs boundaries. Without them, resentment grows, stress builds, and little by little, you start losing yourself trying to keep everyone else happy. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to protect your time. You are allowed to choose your peace over pleasing people. The people who truly care about you may not always like your boundaries, but they will learn to respect them. And remember, a boundary is not a wall that pushes people away. It's a door that shows people how to treat you. So the next time you feel guilty for speaking up, ask yourself this: am I being unkind, or am I finally being honest? If this video helped you, leave a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today. Take care of yourself. Bye.